Hello and welcome to the Hardy Brain, the show that takes athletic, introverted entrepreneurs and leaders and transforms them into ironclad brain performers. I'm your host, Dr. David Hardy. And today on our show, we've got another amazing guest. He comes with the title, The Da Vinci of Visionary Leadership. He is also a returning guest on the Hardy Brain podcast. Great to have him back. And has just released another amazing must-read book, Beyond Chaos. Welcome to the show, Dr. Oleg Konovalov. How are you doing today?
David, glad to be talk today, and I'm always happy to have a conversation with you. I really enjoy our interaction. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me on your show. Thank you.
Yeah. No, this is amazing because your credentials and how people are recognizing you just blows me away each time I read them. Like you're part of Marshall Smith's
Goldsmith,
top
yeah.
top 100 gurus, visionaries, and yeah, just kind of give us an example of the companies and people you work with here.
Well, it could be as large companies as Saudi Aramco, and it could be a small business. It could be just like a very well progressing startup or decent small business. Regardless, you see, I'm blessed. I'm working with smart people because my core area is vision leadership, and so clarity. Well, mediocre and stupid people, they're not asking for my services. So I'm blessed in this sense.
Well, I love it. Last time I talked to you, you really set down the platform of what it takes to have a vision. Because
It's,
everybody thinks they have a vision, but it needs to be fine tuned and it needs to guide people and be there to get them to that level. And whether they're starting out as a small business or whether it's trying to maneuver a big company through the chaos of the world, there needs to be a vision.
it's all
And
about mindset. It's all
yes,
about clear, focused, strong mindset, and which puts you there into the future. And it's all about creating value, not just like, oh, everything for me. It's about what kind of value will create. So it's a different way of thinking.
yeah.
It's absolutely.
And I think last time I talked to you, uh, I for some reason I love the Mike Tyson quote. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
It's very
And
true. And it
I,
remains
I,
the truth.
I think I brought that up actually. So, did I motivate you for the next book, Beyond Chaos?
David, I will tell you the truth. To write a good book demands a lot of effort and time.
Yes, it does.
Writing part, well, it wouldn't take as long, like a few months. You finish writing and then a bit of editing, and that's fine. I interviewed a lot of people. The interview transcripts, only direct quotes. I piled up to 440,000 words. So
Wow.
more or less, it's only just like it's not my observations. It's not about analysis, just transcripts. So it took more than 2 years because one day you're working full speed for an entire day, another day you might be thinking for a couple of hours. Because for those things like chaos in thinking or clarity may sound very obvious, but we know nothing actually about it. And
Right.
therefore exploring. You can't
And
do it all.
absolutely. And on that though, you mentioned that okay, we don't have understanding about it. You're researching. What was your vision behind writing this next book then?
Initially, you see, back to a vision, when I just quoted that less than 0.1% of modern leaders have vision, And I was thinking, hold on, why so little? Why not so many people? What's the most difficult part for them? And I've trained executives from more than 40 countries. And the toughest part is clarity, because you must have a clarity what you're creating. Okay, clarity. Why we're not having clarity? So I'm using this reverse engineering Japanese approach. Why?
Right.
So,
Yes.
just like, and I was thinking, okay, we lack clarity. Why? When I talk about clarity, we're using clarity as some kind of a word without clear understanding what does it mean. Okay, why we don't have clarity? Because we're in chaos. Our minds are in chaos. I will tell you in a simple way. It's difficult to come up with exact data, but about 76% of today leaders have chaos in their thinking, right? Therefore, they're more about, even I have talked to psychologists and
Whoa. Hold on. You're saying that they have chaos in their thinking.
yes.
So it's not just about external events here. It's
No, no,
actually
no.
about what's going
I'm
on in
not
an
talking about
individual.
external events. I'm talking about my mindset being in trouble, right? And,
Ah, okay.
and that is a disaster, but because whatever happened outside, we never lived in a peaceful, tranquil environment. None of the generations. We all of us were facing wars, economical turmoils, political issues, social issues. It's always around us. But what happens within us, that's a disaster. And that because you can't get clarity from external sources. It comes from within you, right? The same chaos, it's within you. And even I have talked to really bright psychotherapists and psychologists from Harvard, just like, and they came up with a phenomenal term, and I was shocked. These days, a big issue, and it's professional term, drama addiction. So the
Yes.
guys who are getting, they're just trying to build up drama within their minds, all the time. They're just like, and they're either getting a mess in their families and then bringing it to the office, or vice versa.
So are
You
you
can't.
saying this is with employees or is this with the actual leaders then?
I'm talking about leaders. I'm
Leaders.
talking
Okay. So
about
they're
leaders.
bringing their drama into what should be
Yeah.
a clear, crisp vision of performance and excellence.
Yes. And
Wow.
instead of coming up with clear directions, with some kind of clarity, where do we go and what shall we do,
Hmm.
they're making things more complicated. And it immediately affects decision making, operational efficiency, human relationships. So it's like cascading down. And it's, if in old days people were afraid of chaos, we now addicted to chaos. So these days we're talking about chaos addiction, because we're so much into that external noise. We'll, you know, we're addicted to it, and it paralyzes our decision making, consciousness. So
So, out
it's
of the clients you've worked with, maybe give us a couple examples of what addiction chaos these leaders are bringing in. Um, kind of specific stories here, because yeah, I get kind of the social media, the family drama, but it hasn't like hit a chord with me. But what have you seen working with people?
David, David,
Um,
you saw
yeah,
many cases when people setting up a meeting, and during the conversation, they're staring at their mobile phones non-stop.
yeah, all the
Right?
time, because
So
yeah,
they
that's where the
addict.
action is, right? It's right there. It's
Yes,
millisecond.
yeah,
Um,
it's
so how do you
addiction.
compete against that in a meeting without being dramatic?
Be pragmatic. You came to talk to someone, focus on that person instead of focusing on external and missing the most important part, conversation with that counterparty when you're negotiating something. Even it's fairly important, right? Because you can't do things on a go. You see, you are good at psychology yourself. David, think.
What?
You are good
I
at this.
appreciate that. Thank you.
You are good, I know this. But think for a moment. We humans, we could process about 30,000 emotions or reactions a day. But with all
Yes.
that, those gadgets, with all events that happening around us, the number is piling up. So we are disabling ourselves. And so we can't cope with all the reactions. And so we're jumping on the noisiest, right? So instead of saying to each other, I love you, we say, we're shouting at each other.
Yeah. But isn't this part of actually kind of being a leader is you've got to be up to date with the trends in your business and your market. And especially if you're in a high,
Yes,
fast paced change in like maybe tech
absolutely.
scene.
Brilliant point. David, I love your point. Trends are big, but those noises are always there. You can't respond to every noise and whistle because you will
Right.
be jumping all the time. You're not talking about a serious trends. You're talking about every just like little grains of it. You
Now,
can't
now
manage.
I want to interject because this is like my world right here. You spoke to me, and that is, I keep hearing trends of huge amounts of people who have ADHD tendencies, and how if you're a leader, having these diagnoses is like a superpower. And the honest part is sometimes, but often it's dysregulation and there's more noise occurring in the brain. Have you investigated this physical side of
Yes.
things as well as kind of the
Uh,
environmental or side of it?
I looked at it from a different angle. I will put it
Okay,
that
yeah.
way. How chaos get settled in our minds?
Hmm.
First is noise, right?
Yes.
Noise penetrates our minds, and noise is a vehicle of delivering worries and troubles and bad signals to our minds, and so it makes us very tense
Oh,
and
massively.
massively tense, right? And we got addicted to that noise, so to extent that people can't resist silence. Right. Every post for them is like a torture. So we're getting to the noise, but noise delivers fears. Oh, I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't jump it. I'm not coping with it. So some kind of fears, but fear is, as a result, settles in. And whatever the event, might be not as challenging, but we're already afraid of it. And so we're already blocked. And then we're getting to the third, the most difficult part, uncertainty. When we're facing uncertainty and we believe that's it, nothing is possible, we're helpless. And that moment, we're losing our own agency over our own life, over our own business. In this sense, what I'm saying,
Right.
think who is in
So
trouble?
so on
Your
that, I've
business or
noticed
you?
have you noticed this pattern too? Is people with that addiction are driven to this and then they hit a wall because they realize
Exactly.
it's just too much. It's that overwhelm moment then where their brain just kind of shuts down, and as
Yeah,
you put in your book, chaos weakens our mental health. Am I
absolutely.
correct on this point too?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because in this sense, we're immediately losing ability to be in control of selves. We're just
Yes.
victims of this, and we are not warriors. We are warriors. We worry about things. We're not
Worrying
fighting.
too much. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's never easy. But what I found, that is a phenomenal stage because from uncertainty, when we hit the bottom, if you're strong enough or smart enough, we are getting back to clarity because some people are losing. But people who are
Yeah.
prepared to fight, want to fight, as soon they feel that their bottom is touching the bottom,
Yeah, like you mentioned this, and I used to do a little bit of martial arts and was always intrigued by the warrior mindset, but more so the ones who were really good at these skills were also very calm people. And so you mentioned this fight mentality, but also this experience and training. And of course, that's the physical world. But what's the emotional world to train and focus your brain here from that worrying mentality to clarity?
it's not about, David, it's not about being ready to fight all the time, right?
Oh,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah, you
yeah,
every
but it's
little thing
it's
you'd be
smart
swinging
enough.
at and missing.
Yeah, it's about being smart enough to get ready to do something different. What happens? Chaos is a friction of conflicting energies and signals and rhythms, right? And that pushes us to change the mental models again and again and again so we're not coping. Clarity is completely counterintuitive and it's very different. In this sense, it's counter emotional. Think it's I
Counter
create.
emotional. How so?
I would tell you. I have
All
came
right.
up with a framework called Passat. Passat because you know those trade winds along the equator when old days without proper navigation, people were getting from Europe, for instance, to America and back. So
Yes. Yeah.
the first thing, P, it's intentional pause for intentional silence. Because
Ah.
think, chaos pushes us non-stop. Quick, 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 chop, 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 chop. But it pushes us. And if you think for a moment, how much am I losing because of rushing? Stop for a moment. Intentional create silence, just like breathe out and just clear out your mind from all that noise. Then you need to think about realities. Specifically, in the case when you're facing uncertainty, you think nothing is possible. But chaos, as everything, has a pattern. And there are the gaps in this pattern which shows opportunities. So it's about seeing the abundance of opportunities even within that chaos, within that mess, and use it. What can I do? I can do this, or I can do that. So you're going,
Now, on top of that, are you one of those people then who see chaos as being that opportunity for new adventures then? Like,
you
I know
not
I
the
know there's
chaos
a whole
itself, but
force
within
out
the
there that it
chaos.
would love to create chaos just so they
Oh, no,
have
no,
better
it's not for me.
opportunities.
It's not for me. It's not
No,
for me.
but
But if I'm facing a chaos, okay, there are the ways through it. I need to go on another side of chaos, beyond chaos. And that's quite important. That was a notion of writing that work.
ah,
What happens? Then, what chaos is? It's unstructured events. And
right.
therefore, to counter emotional part, I need to have a structured mind. Like, it's not about I need to come up with detailed plan for 100 years ahead. No, no, no. But look, I can do this. One, two, three. I have an analogy, a beautiful dance. Every dance has a structure, like one, two, three, one, two, three, just like whatever you're dancing. The same, have a structured mind, how it is structured, and you will move because you would know, okay, within that I could do this.
Hmm.
Another issue is simplicity because chaos is a complication. You can't beat complication by overcomplicating it. In chaos, people are coming with hugely overcomplicated solutions and fail. You must be simple, and this is what I call it's not about creating an art of small steps, it's an art of creating simple steps.
Impulse
What
steps, was that it?
simple steps? It's not small, but
Simple.
what kind of simple step I could make? But simplicity, it's a very big thing. I love that analogy. Almost 100 years ago, Coco Chanel came up with this little black dress. And it's still in fashion, right? It's still big thing. But that simplicity works. So what excessive you're doing? Because when you're overcomplicating things, you're paying a huge price for it. And then uh, I
And
was,
on that note,
yeah,
if chaos um, is supposed to be quick, then you can't do something that is going to take too much time. Am I
no,
kind of on terms with that?
yeah, yeah. Because look,
Ah,
therefore I'm saying simple steps, not just like
simple.
ribs, right? And I think it's very important. Be authentic, be yourself.
Yes.
Because of chaos around us, we're wearing different masks, and therefore you can't build or create clarity from a point when you wear a mask. You're not true to yourself. You must be true to yourself. One of the issues of mental health, people are losing themselves. No one is perfect, good or bad. Look, this is who am I, and from that point I'm building something. You can't build something solid from artificial point. It will
No,
collapse.
you can't.
You know, be true, be true to yourself, and be true about yourself. Because it's not about just who you are today, but who you would expand to be tomorrow yourself with that clarity. So it must be consistent. And of course, it's about forward thinking or thinking into the future. You think into the future because it's in this moment. Think our past is ego, our present is humility, our future is pride. Whatever happens in the past doesn't matter. Oh, I have been such and such guy. Okay, be proud. It's ego. Humility, we don't know much about the present, we just assume that we know. But what we could do for the future, even being in a below zero position, that would
Yeah.
make me proud. And therefore, think into the future. All the solutions are there. You don't need clarity for yesterday. You don't need clarity much even for today. Everything for tomorrow. Therefore, just move beyond. And when you
Well,
will
hold on. That seems that's a thought that has me right now. Is you don't need clarity for the past, but the past is always repeated. Um, you don't need clarity for today, but today's where we're living, and if we don't have clarity, then there's more chaos,
exactly,
right?
but you
But
must have
you definitely
clarity
need
yes
clarity
for
for the future, something that hasn't happened yet that we can't necessarily control.
no, no. You look. You will have a lot of different things tomorrow, but it's still
Yeah.
what you focus on.
Yeah, and some
Uh,
are going to be bad, some are going to be great, and a lot you're just not
yeah,
going to
but
know.
it's still, if you know where to go, you see, we know that to cross the ocean, you will face storms and things like that.
Yeah, but
Uh,
that's clarity about the past. Is
no, it's
that's
where do we
established.
go? No, no, it's where do we go? Where we are going to be tomorrow. And regardless of the weather, we will be there. That's important.
Well, not
Otherwise, you would be,
necessarily. There's a lot of ships that sink.
well, if the captain in panic, the ship will be in trouble. Therefore, it's not about panic. But what happens in this sense, when we get all these things together and we know the algorithm, we know how to repeat this for other events or in different
Okay. Yeah.
stages of life. It's not just one off, it's been tested. Even I have asked my medical colleagues to ask, and they tested in clinical practice, and it works, and it works greatly. What happens? You see, chaos is a diluted energy. More or less, it ruins energy. It's just a mess. When you have
Right.
clarity, you have a focused energy from which you're creating uh,
So that's the
vision.
point is that
Yeah,
yeah, when we're thinking about the future and making it clear in our head is that the energy is now changed to be
ex-
productive. There
exactly.
we are.
Because you know
Yes.
what kind of value you will create and where you will put
Right.
your effort.
And
And it
then
would
what
be
about when more
time is
chaos
relevant.
hits?
Yeah,
Like, let's exercise this muscle on that point and changing future energy. Is that okay? The next round of chaos hits us, the next punches are thrown, or whatever happens, the weather shifts and our boat
of
comes
course.
close to capsizing.
In this
How do
sense,
you
when
switch and become even more focused on a clearer vision when it's loss after loss or gut punch after gut punch?
David, I faced many losses in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Over the time, I have learned that I'm not interested in working on interesting projects. I'm working on important projects, right? And it's not just about, oh, this important, this important. No. People, fairly often, when you asking people about their priorities, and I have
Yes.
a questionnaire. It's on my website. People could log in into my website, olegkonovalov.com, and get this questionnaire. Chaos score form. One of the questions: do you have more than four priorities? Reality, if you have more
Uh,
than three, but because many people they believe that they have many priorities, and which is well praised these days, this is wrong. Because if you have too many priorities, it means you have no priorities.
right.
You can't handle many things, right? And too many. And therefore, chaos pushes you. You should do this. You should do that. You should do that. No, no, no. Stay focused on those priorities. Is one thing. Another thing, how many people these days could sit and read more than 15 pages of the book in one go?
Oh,
Is
very
it just
few. Yeah. Like that attention span is not it's not
not there?
there. And that's
Exactly.
what I love about talking with you is that yeah, a lot of this is that zoom out approach. It's okay, well, we're not going to talk about
Yeah.
very
Ah,
specific
that's
adrenaline drive things. We're going to zoom out. And this
David.
really
One
speaks to
little
the
comment.
people who have that patience and that
It's not
long
about
term just
look.
yeah,
It's not about
move
patience.
thing
It's about
things will
consciousness.
change.
Because if you're interested in in the book or in certain movie or whatever, watch it.
Hmm.
If you're not interested, put it aside. Instead of just like jumping in and out, so you're wasting your time. And what happens these days, and this issue is specifically challenging for the younger
Right.
generation, they have a
So,
tremendous
on
amount
that
of
point, oh, we know this is a huge problem. And that, yeah, sustained attention is a lost art form.
completely.
How do you get it back?
Therefore, if you have clarity, you're either in conversation or not. How many, I believe you know many
Hmm.
people in your life, in your personal or business life, who are switching subject of a conversation within every sentence. They're just like jumping. They have chaos in their thinking.
Oh, easy to see. But how do you train that muscle? How do you train
Therefore,
for
use
clarity?
that form. It's called Passat. And,
Ah, yes. And this is the one on the website you were
and
talking about, correct?
it's on in the book, and in the book I'm sharing specific questions or tips how to develop it within every section or every step. So it's not just like I'm
Nice.
discussing, I'm sharing practical tips on this.
Oh, absolutely.
So
What a
that's a bit
gold
of
mine.
work,
That
and I
is
hope
that is
important
value.
work.
Yeah, that is value right there. So
Think how
what else would somebody expect when they pick up Beyond Chaos then?
I will put it in a very simple question. How much I'm always asking people how much you're losing because you don't have a clarity.
Right.
What a price do you pay? What I'm asking, don't answer me in a way like a lot or much, because our brain is a lazy bunch of neurons. If you're
Yes.
saying to your brain, "Oh, a lot," your brain says, "Yeah, a lot," just like and ignores it. It doesn't process that information. But if you're saying, "Hey, I'm losing my family," or "I'm losing like 50% of my business," or "I'm losing this," your brain immediately, "Oh, I will act," you know. So your neurons become active and they're coming up with some kind of a smart solutions and with clarity. So don't try to please your brain with those things. It's not about negotiating with me how much you're losing. This is answer is important for you, for everyone. Look, I'm losing this. I'm losing my happy family. I'm losing business, or I'm losing to whatever. When people realize the amount of loss, well, from my experience, some people, when they're honest, they're saying, I'm losing about 80% of my business.
Hmm. Yeah.
From that moment, you're commanding yourself, stop, I need clarity. Then you're completely overhauling your mindset.
So on top of that, should this book have been written before the Vision Code?
Yes, to extent, it's like vision code and that, because it's still a trajectory to something greater in your life or in business
Right.
vision. But it's not bad. Yet, my approach. I'm coming up with practical things.
Yes.
Someone who spent years, at sea, I believe in practical things. It's not about theory, it's about real cases,
I
real examples.
agree. And people need to find these practical things because you've layered them, you've put them in both books, you've got these quizzes. So, once again, where do people reach out and find you and get more information other than getting both amazing books off Amazon or wherever they buy their books? How do
And
they
of
find
course,
you?
they are buying and leaving a review. I believe people should be
Yes.
kind to the author, right? Just at least he seemingly is
Yeah.
okay.
There's value there. And when there's value there, then people need to share what that value
Yeah,
is and
that's
get that
awesome.
word out. I agree.
Otherwise, they could connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'm always responding to the messages myself. They could get
Yes.
me
Yeah.
on
Amazingly
my
so.
website, olegkonovalov.com. So
Okay.
well, that's where I'm mainly settled.
All right. And we will put those in the show notes. And yeah, I'll
Thank
be
you.
writing a review for you because this stuff is
Please.
amazing. And once again, I appreciate the work you've done and just the importance behind the value you're sharing. So thanks again for being a return guest. And I look forward to having you when your next book's out again.
Oh, give me a bit of time. Thank you.
I'm going to put the pressure on. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think there's a third one in this trilogy.
Oh, well, not yet. Not it's training. But thank you very much, David. Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you. So definitely reach out to Dr. Oleg Konolova.
Thank
Buy
you.
the books Beyond Chaos, Vision Code, and then you'll be ready for a third book. And of course, stay tuned to the next episode of The Hardy Brain, the show that takes athletic, introverted entrepreneurs and leaders and transforms them into ironclad brain performers. Take care.